Welcome back to CIA Declassified. We just examined the devastating chaos of Ted Owens, the PK man. Today we return to the other end of the spectrum, the quiet, indispensable work of Hella Hamid. Her story is the true operational success of the program. Hella Hamid wasn't recruited for her flair. She didn't predict major disasters or claim alien assistance. She was a woman known for her exceptional focus and meticulous nature, qualities that made her invaluable to the project. Her approach wasn't about the spectacular hit, but the relentless daily accumulation of data. If the files were a library, Hella was the one who could find the most critical cross-referenced document every single time. She understood that a single verifiable measurement was worth 1,000 dramatic visions. The intelligence community learned quickly that the most impressive psychic ability wasn't the most useful. Ted Owens, with his destructive volatility and high energy output, suffered from extreme burnout and emotional contamination in his readings. Hella Hamid, however, was an asset you could trust with a long-term critical strategic assignment because she practiced low-signal viewing. This approach prioritized duration and precision over intensity, mitigating the risk of psychic fatigue. Her methodology. Unlike others who chased big emotional signatures, Hella focused on texture, structure, and spatial relationships. She systematically filtered out emotional noise and subjective interpretation. Her daily sessions often produced dry technical descriptions such as, this is a quote, "Concrete texture is rough, consistent with high-altitude construction. Rebar spacing appears uniform. Estimated 30-centimeter interval," end quote, or another quote from her, "Ventilation shaft diameter is approximately 1.5 meters. Exit aperture shielded by non-ferrous mesh," end quote. Her handlers initially found this tedious, but it was these precise, seemingly mundane details that became the verifiable foundation of actionable intelligence. She provided what was consistently termed, quote, "high fidelity," end quote, data, details that could be cross-referenced with conventional reconnaissance to build a complete, unshakable picture. The year is 1983. The United States has high confidence in its satellite imagery of Soviet missile deployments, yet internal analysis suggests a vast blind spot, a potential strategic defense complex hidden deep in the unforgiving remote terrain of Siberia, possibly utilizing advanced stealth or hardening techniques to evade detection. The target signature was virtually non-existent from orbit. This became Hella Hamid's primary grueling target, the Siberian Missile Defense Complex. The goal was not to find a missile silo, but to map an entire defensive infrastructure that was designed to be invisible to electronic and photographic surveillance. This was a 2-year assignment, a marathon of psychic effort demanding hundreds of viewing hours. The target was complex, cold, and deliberately nondescript to discourage high-signal viewers. Hella's file, DIA-HLAH-003, is unique because it's not a single report, but a massive binder of interconnected reports spanning 24 months. This file is the definitive case study on data compounding in remote viewing, each session built upon the last, like assembling a technical blueprint piece by piece, where session 34 confirmed the rebar spacing measured in session 12. The key discoveries and confirmation points. The pattern of roads. She didn't find the complex itself initially, but noted a recurring subtle pattern of unpaved insulated access roads distinct from natural formations. These roads displayed a specific repeated pattern of subsurface heating to prevent ice buildup. She tracked these patterns across miles, realizing they converged on a central hardened point. The subterranean tunnels. Through persistent focus, she was able to pierce the earth and describe a system of deep interconnected subterranean tunnels, providing structural dimensions, depth, and estimated construction materials, identifying key junctions and staging areas deep beneath the permafrost. Ventilation and life support. Crucially, Hella began describing specific locations for massive hardened air filtration and ventilation units, the necessary Achilles heel of any underground military complex. These units were too small for satellite cameras to definitively classify, but Hella's consistent description of their exact coordinates, coupled with the sound of high-powered muffled fans, allowed aerial reconnaissance to prioritize and confirm their function, thus pinpointing the boundaries of the facility. By the end of her assignment, Hella had provided the CIA with a complete three-dimensional, actionable map of the entire complex, a map that confirmed the presence of over a dozen previously unknown strategic missile silos, all based on the slow, methodical accumulation of seemingly minor details. The final blueprint was not a flash of insight, but the result of relentless professional labor. Hella Hamid defined what the intelligence community termed operational success. Her data was not just accurate, it was usable and integrable with conventional intelligence streams. It allowed defense planners to shift their strategy because they now knew the precise extent and location of a major Soviet threat. Her work enabled U.S. analysts to predict the complex operational schedule based on her reporting of shift changes and maintenance cycles. The difference, while Ted Owens could potentially cause a single system failure, Hella provided the intelligence necessary to neutralize an entire strategic defense network through planning. Her work required a discipline that most other viewers lacked, the ability to revisit the same dull target day after day, week after week, until the picture was complete. The program's managers learned a vital, expensive lesson from Hella. The most valuable psychic assets are the ones who can maintain structure and objectivity, removing personal drama and ego from the viewing process. She rarely spoke of the visions or the feelings. She spoke of the data, the location, the dimension, and the material composition. She was a human sensor, a sophisticated biological instrument, not a prophet. Legacy. Hella's reports, particularly the systematic structure of DIA HLAH003, became the official standard for training new viewers. Her templates illustrated how a collection of small, verifiable psychic facts could overwhelm $1 billion worth of conventional surveillance that only captured the surface. Her success proved that the most powerful form of remote viewing was not about chaos, but about control. Hella Hamid, the librarian of sight, proved that structure and persistence are the ultimate strategic weapons. Her blueprints provided an advantage that changed the course of intelligence gathering. Next time we look far beyond the Earth, focusing on a target that broke the rules of conventional intelligence, the Martian Pyramid File. We open the classified file CIA STGT-84, which documents the stunning 1984 remote viewing session of the Cydonia region of Mars. We analyze the viewer's drawings and verbal descriptions of impossible artificial structures, providing coordinates and measurements that were later confirmed by high-resolution orbital imagery. Was this an intergalactic spy mission or a profound psychological projection? We delve into the reports of ancient architecture on another planet next time. In the meantime, stay sharp, remember to check your facts, and appreciate the power of detail. I'll see you in the archives.